On one day, all kinds of birds in the world are gathering. They both have one question. Who is their king? Some of them said, it seems there can't be a country. What are people who have no king? Then from that, we birds must also have a king. All the birds were stunned between doubt and confidence in his friend's statement. Then said again one of them, this kind of situation cannot be allowed. Dragging on, our lives will be in vain if never once know who our king is. All the birds are silent and think. Then shouted one of their, what should we do? Go forward, birds with passion and confidence, performing in the middle. These birds have a crest tub, crown that symbolizes majesty and truth. This bird is a hudhud bird. He is famous for having extensive knowledge of good and bad. Of course, we have to try together, looking for a king for all of us, because no country has a good order without a king, said Hudhud Bird. Then the Hudhud Bird said again, the birds as well, said Hudhud, we have a true king. He lives far behind the mountains of Kof, thousands of lands and oceans unfurled along the way towards his place. His name is Simma. I know that king well, but I can't fly alone to meet him. Release yourself from the shame, arrogant and dismissive. He will shed light on those who can. Release the shackles of self. They will be free from good and evil. For being in the path of her lover, he is close to us, but we are far away from her. Told one night, the king of Mer flying in the dark of night. Suddenly a feather fell, which makes astir all the birds. So enchanting for Simogantil, make astonished and astonished. All the birds want to watch its beauty and beauty. And it said to them, if the word of feather does not fall, and out there will be no birds on this earth. Then the Hudhud Bird continued the conversation that to reach the palace of Simma, they have to come together, work together and should not precede each other. After hearing the story told by Birds Hudhud, all the birds excited, I want to go to the king immediately. But the Hudhud Bird added that the journey heading to the Simma palace is not as easy as imagined, must pass through thousands of obstacles and violent shocks. Travel is also laden with suffering and misery. Are you guys ready? Said Hudhud Bird. Test their seriousness after they listened to the explanation. How to love the grief. Bitter journey towards the palace of Simma. It turns out that the spirit of some birds becomes faded. They also thought and descended reasons not to go. Canaries ventured and delivered his opinion. I am a mamulus icon, the priests of those who are cool and longing. I really mind going. What if people miss you? My chirping, how could I possibly part of my blooming flowers? That's the reason canaries. Next, the peacock says, I lived in heaven with Adam. Then I was kicked out of heaven. I feel like I want to go back to where I live again. That's why I don't want to be in the group. Then followed by ducks. I used to live in holiness, and I'm not used to it either. Swimming in a dry place. I can't live without water. Crazy duckling. Then followed by a wren. I'm just a small, weak bird. Will not be able to travel as far as the wren bird says. The eagle replied, everyone knows my high position. Then there's no way I'm leaving this glorious place and position, said the eagle.